I'm calling on Trump's FBI to allow the Minnesota
Okay, so a
BC
couple of headlines out of Minneapolis already today. The teachers union is saying that they want ICE to stay away from the schools on the property. And also we got the mayor there with various representatives from government.
Right, and the mayor is saying that the state officials need to be involved in a federal investigation. We bring back Kerri Urbahn and Jonathan Turley. And Kerri, we had just asked you and Jonathan about this. Did Jacob Frey say anything there that would change your mind of what you said earlier?
Zero to me. It's just not how it works. He can't change the rules. You know, this is a federal law enforcement officer, an ICE agent, and therefore the feds are the one who investigate him. It's just the way it works. You can't change the rules just because it's politically convenient or you want to make a political statement, which is what's happening right now. And so they can ask all they want, but the FBI and the Department of Justice is fully within their rights and precedent and practice just to say, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah, Todd Bland's deputy attorney. I know both of you are very familiar with him. He gave a quote to Politico. I don't have it printed out, so I'm just going to read it, okay? He said, federal agents risk their lives each day to safeguard our communities. Then he said, they must make decisions under dynamic and chaotic circumstances in less time than it took to read this sentence. Professor, that's the defense.
I think that is. And look, Mayor Frey is probably the least compelling person to ask for cooperation on an investigation. He was the one who immediately called this officer a murderer and then unleashed a profane attack on ICE. So I couldn't imagine anyone worse. He did show that there really are lies, damn lies, and statistics. You know, he said 50% of the shootings in this city this year have been caused by ICE. It's January 9th. In the first week, there were 2 shootings, and yes, one of them involved ICE. But a lot of this is just not very taken very seriously in terms of the arguments being made by this mayor. You know, he was the one who set this city further on edge and is now saying, you know, you can trust us. We're serious people. You need to establish that through your conduct and through leadership.
Kerri, this is all happening at the same time that we have this major and widespread and growing fraud problem in Minnesota with top officials, 2 of which we've already seen this morning, Governor Walz and Jacob Frey. This is wide-ranging, and it's continuing. And now Congress is investigating, and Walz and the Attorney General, State Attorney General Ellison, will likely be called up in front of Congress soon as well. So all of this focus on Minnesota, it might feel like everything's happening all at once, but can't lose sight of the fact that this is a government, a state government that's pretty distracted by the things that are happening right under their noses.
Yeah, it feels like a bit of a disaster over there, I think, in some ways. And I'm very interested in this position that Vice President Vance announced yesterday at the White House press briefing regarding a new DOJ position that he says will report directly to him and the president, where they will investigate fraud in Minneapolis and then expand beyond that. He said the position would have nationwide jurisdiction, which would make sense if it is an assistant attorney general at the department. Now, I would just note that the department already does have a very large civil and crim fraud section. They have a lot of people working there. And so it'll be interesting to see what they're able to uncover using the resources of the Justice Department, since they plan to go after this in a very aggressive way.
One more thing here. I don't know if we've covered it entirely. Professor, what about the governor threatening to pull out the National Guard? That would like Chicago in 1968 in the snow, would it not, Minneapolis?
Well, it's a little curious because the governor suggested he was going to call out the National Guard to protect citizens against ICE. That's a tad antebellum. You know, he should probably check in with Jefferson Davis on that, if that is his intent. I don't know what he means by that, but the feds are allowed to be in that city. And for Ellison, the Attorney General, to call for ICE to leave the state is equally curious. This is someone who previously praised Antifa. So Antifa can stay, but ICE goes? None of this makes a lot of sense.
Kerri, what do you think it goes from here? Because you have this investigation, then you also had this other story. We're going to get a little bit more detail into it, but there was another situation yesterday in Portland where you had Border Patrol agents doing a routine stop, and when they found out there was an illegal alien, and when he realized it, they left. There was a shooting, and there's a lot of swirl around that story as well.
Well, that's why I think rhetoric on both sides is really important here. People have to really watch how they're talking about this, because we don't want to end up with more people injured or harmed. You know, I keep going back to the summer of 2020. We all remember it well. It was awful, and it was incredibly stressful working out of the Justice Department at that time. Just, not just in terms of figuring out the legal aspects and all of that, but just really worrying about our federal law enforcement officers and their safety. I mean, these people are just doing their jobs. They're enforcing the law. And as a nation, we've just gotten so used to the law not being enforced with respect to immigration, which, I blame both Republicans and Democrats for that. It's not just a Democrat issue. I mean, for years, the laws in the books have just not been enforced. So now they're being enforced, and people are reacting in this way when, the people are just doing their jobs. And as we've mentioned a million times, they're making life and death decisions in split seconds that are life-changing decisions, not just for the perpetrator, but also for themselves. So we'll see how this all continues to play out.
Good deal. Kerri, thank you. Jonathan Turley, thank you as well. If there are more headlines from the mayor, we'll bring our viewers back there. He had some choice words the other day as we both, all four of us, watched that.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.